I am Adrienne Phelps-Coco, and I teach a course called Designing Online Courses at Harvard Extension School. The big challenge with generative AI is that the field of course design is rapidly changing. And I wanted to make sure that my students are prepared for this new world of work and have the skills to write the prompts that they need in order to use it in their course design work in the future. So for my course, I try to be both very practical, where they actually build a piece of an online course, but also think through some of the theoretical underpinnings and the ethics of course design. And of course, AI has a lot that fits into both categories. And so when we hit AI week, instead of using our own brainstorming skills, I really ask students to write prompts to get ChatGPT to become their thought partner in thinking about how they could design activities that could reach different types of online students. But I wanted to take that further. And so I gave them a little ethical scenario where I asked them to think about if they had the choice to have an AI classmate, would they make that choice? And what are the benefits and drawbacks? And what are the ethical considerations they would need to think through in making that choice? So in my class, I have two groups of students. I have people who attend live over Zoom, and I have folks who watch the recording of the class and participate asynchronously on their own schedule. And so for my live students, I just put them into breakout rooms and had them have this conversation. For my async students, we did something a little bit different. I wrote them a prompt that could turn ChatGPT, just our sandbox, our ordinary sandbox, into an AI classmate that would help them further the conversation. And the prompt worked by pulling in both their initial thoughts and their classmates' initial thoughts. They just copied it all together and pasted it into the sandbox, which looked something like this. And what I really learned from this is my two groups of students came away with different takeaways. So the live students, they had somewhat mixed feelings about having an AI classmate. They were excited, but they really saw a lot of ethics that would need to be worked through. My asynchronous students overwhelmingly voted in favor of an AI classmate. And I think that they did that because they were really able to experience the benefits of that back and forth interaction that's so hard to replicate in asynchronous learning. So they still had a lot of ethical concerns and considerations, but part of how I set this up in a very low tech way was actually really useful in how they thought through it because they had access to the prompt that I had written. And so as they were thinking through the ethics, part of what they did in their shareouts was tweak my prompt in ways that they thought could bring in new perspectives and help think through some of those ethical considerations. So I think the whole experience was really powerful, both in terms of students being able to get their hands, dirty and get in there and really try this out, but also give them ways to think through those ethics and to think through how your own experience might help you think through the ethics in a thoughtful way.